Hey man, the Caravan stream was easily everything we hoped for. Okay, minus the PvP, but dude, I really believe it was top 5 Ashes of Creation streams this year. Bro, I mean, we got to see so many things be brought to light, a ton of questions answered, and then on top of that, we got a leak for next month. The stream starts off with us hearing about a new currency called Glint. Turns out, Glint is actually going to be replacing the monster coin currency. This is actually the physical form of Essence for the lore folks out there, and it's bound to your character, which I think is pretty interesting. The Glint that we saw ranges from common to epic, allowing you to do other things. As Steven showed us the Glint, he then used said Glint to acquire commodities for the Caravan. Now, it's important to note that the nodes will sell different commodities, but on the flip side of that, the commodities that you choose to sell could be sold at a higher price in different nodes. For example, I could buy a banana here at my node and say the sell price for that banana is 1 gold, but then I could take it to Steven's node where the sell price could be 2 gold, 3 gold. You understand what I'm saying? Steven was then able to go to the caravanserai to get his caravan loaded up and be on his way. When you buy a caravan, it becomes an item in your inventory, and once you're in the wilderness, you'll be able to spawn it whenever you're ready. This is going to come in clutch for a lot of players because only you are going to know when you want to launch your caravan. Now, when you spawn your caravan, that's a different story because once you spawn it in an area where people can see or they found out that you're trying to spawn it, other players will be able to see that, and it doesn't happen right away. Spawning your caravan in the wilderness is gonna take about 2 minutes, and that's a long time, especially if time isn't on your side. There are different components you can add to your caravan to improve different stats. Some of you may want health, speed, or a tanky caravan. Speaking of though, I thought it was really dope to see the caravan move quicker on the trail compared to when it wasn't on the trail, it would move a little slower. Now, they're both great, they're both viable options, but there are pros and cons to both. As Steven stayed on the path, the caravan moved quicker for sure, but at the same time, if you're trying to hide from players or stay out of the way from people in general, then this path wouldn't make sense. If you can't gather a group of people to help you transport your goods, and you're going at it alone or with 2 or 3 people, and you're transferring valuable goods, coming across a bigger group is not gonna end up the way you want it to. Now, for those that want that off-road experience, this does make much sense, but you have to understand that this journey is gonna be much more of an exhausting one due to the fact that you have to constantly fight mobs, watch where you're going, and on top of it all, the caravan is going slower. MMO players don't want to take their time, they want to get things done as soon as possible. They eventually ran into a tree in the middle of the road and couldn't cut it down, so they cut the trees around them down to make a new path. And I think that was really immersive. They then spoke about how the caravans will go into a raft state when they're going on the water, and I think that's gonna be super lit. We didn't get to see it today because they're still working on it, but we're gonna see it eventually. The alternative to rafts were bridges that mayors can help build, but that's not always guaranteed. They eventually got to the node where they were trying to bring the commodities to, but a few things here. Like I said earlier, the items that Steven had sold for significantly more in this node, but what's even crazier is that they could sell for even more somewhere else. I'm not sure how many people will see that are committed to doing caravan runs because it does have a huge risk versus reward component to it, but if the group is big enough, then the payoff just might be worth it. So when you think about it, imagine traveling from caravan to raft back to caravan across Verra. Now these are the moments that people remember in MMOs, right? But the craziest thing to me is that they traveled to the closest node. There's a timer in the top right hand corner telling you how long your journey is taking, and this journey that they took today took them 30 minutes. They didn't go on the water. They didn't use cheats to speed anything up, they just took the caravan. So how long would it take to go across the entire map while trying to move commodities? Sounds super fun. This also makes you think about the nodes that will get destroyed in the process. Holding onto those items that aren't sold anymore for that time period could probably get you some more gold. As far as driving your caravan goes, you'll be able to select people from your friends list that'll be able to drive your caravans. I know everyone wanted to see PvP, but we got some mobs attacking the Caravan, which I think was their way of showing us a glimpse into what it looked like. Obviously, these mobs weren't casting Blizzard, Blink, or doing big heals, but I do think what was shown did its job. I said this before, but PvP is more likely going to be a big stream that's going to go on for a few hours, and they'll probably get really in depth with what they're showing because that is the main drive of the game and they want to get it right. I genuinely don't think there's any way that we can or should be upset about this update. Game's looking gorgeous and it's coming along. And towards the end of the stream, man, Maggie even said that next month we could possibly hear about a quarter time frame for Alpha 2 for next year. This is what I'm talking about, man. Things are ramping up. Things are starting to move so quick. Again, this would explain the ramp up and hype in streams, man. Things are getting serious. She even said later on we could possibly hear a date, which is even wilder. I'm not too sure about it, but it's possible that before 2023 is over, we could have an Alpha 2 release date. And if not by the end of 2023, then 100% in Q1 of 2024, we'll have that date. We can't complain. We ate good, for real, man. We got some new gameplay, we got some Alpha 2 information, things are moving along, and nothing's going too crazy, man. We're in a good spot. Tell me though, what are your thoughts on the Caravan stream? Please let your boy know in the comment section below. Also, I said it in my last video, but the charity event is still going on. I am still raising money for Extra Life for Kids along with Intrepid Studios and a ton of other creators. That link is in the description. Got some crazy incentives. I know it's wild. At $7,000, I'm gonna be saying Ashes of Creation 7,000 times. That'll be a stream if you wanna see. Hey, go donate, man. It's for a great cause. And at $10,000, I will go bald. Yep, all my hair come off. So if that's something you want to see, man, get on in there and donate, all right? Besides that, if you don't have an Ashes of Creation account, feel free to use my link in the description. If you're looking for a community to come kick it with, come chill with us, man. We're waiting for Alpha 2. If you want to stay up to date with me, feel free to follow me on Twitter and Twitch where I stream the live monthly updates. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.